me, rice science is really bigger than the rocket science, and that's what I will go to explain.
Okay.
So once again, thank you very much. Just I will go through the my presentation. Can you see everyone my screen here?
Yes, we can see.
Thank you. So the APIT full form is Agri Process Innovation Technologies. So ourselves, we claim the world's best paddy process specialist because the reason I will answer in the, if anyone asks me a question on the end, why you are best, I will answer that. Okay? So,
Mr. Shashi, you'll have 30 minutes to speak, then we'll have a question and answer session.
Okay? Yes, thank you.
Normal. Okay.
Thank you. See, today the subject is the role of artificial intelligence, AI, and Internet of Things in the rice processing. For this, automation is mandatory. Okay. Just before that, I will give about a small brief about our company. So APIT is an Indo-US joint venture collaboration, and US company API, Agri Process Innovation, is my technical partner, which is located in Arkansas, US. And actually APIT is committed to provide three basic things. That is, whatever we process, it should be hygienic, and whatever the grain coming out of our plant should be nutrition preserved one, and whatever the process we carry out, it should be eco-friendly. And APIT does complete design, engineering, manufacturing, and installation of all its plants. So APIT vision is to create a grain revolution. Probably you are all agriculture engineers, you know green revolution, but we given a name, grain revolution. That means that every grain we process should feed not one person, at least 1.2 per person. So I will explain you how it is. And our mission is that we have to give a process-oriented infrastructure. In India, today, 99.9% parboiling plants are manual. The people, the companies which they provide infrastructure, but the process is carried out by rice millers. But we are again anti-clockwise. We given the process-based infrastructure, and rice millers should not depend on any human brain. So the entire automation and artificial intelligence will drive his rice mill. That is our mission. Okay. So we provide the solutions in the four verticals. Basically, we provide the solution for harvested paddy. We provide cleaning and drying systems, and we provide solution for parboiled paddy. So we have a batch-wise and continuous parboiling systems, as well as the third vertical is the biggest, and it will going to change the dynamics of the Western world as well as Eastern world. That's the aging of paddy. And we found a new technology called super aging technology. And we provide a new system of automation, which will be like a Windows or Android or, the iOS for the future rice processing. That is the specialty of APIT's expertise in terms of solution regarding. So these are all some of the batch-wise parboiling system, and as well as we call it as an Indigo, and we have a continuous parboiling system. The name is called BRIS. I have kept the name Batta Rice Intelligence System. Intelligence is the main core competence of this solution, and again, this is the greatest innovation of Indian grain scientist Dr. K.R. Bhattacharya and Dr. Syed Jakiuddin Ali. These two gentlemen with the greatest engineer of the CFTRI, Dr. P.K. Ramanathan, they designed this gel cook station. This is the trump card of APIT, and for all the process, thermal treatment, we use this gel cook station. And we have a dryers, Indigo mixed flow recirculation dryers to dry the paddy. It's completely automated, and it will run on completely in IoT environment. So we have a project futures like never seen in the industry, like all our process is continuous and automated process system, and we have implemented air bubbling system for the long soaking hours. It will completely clear the odor while parboiling system. And also our every plant comes with a recipe intelligence system. This is where the artificial intelligence plays very crucial role. And we assure every rice miller, they will going to get least process broken. That is one more the key parameter and feature of our system. And so many of the rice millers from the unorganized sector and from basically they were not much educated and they don't know how, when complete these gelatinization. And they never heard, sometimes many of the rice millers, they don't know gelatinization. We have defined what is degree of starch gelatinization and we control it. And also you can see every grain coming out of our plant is uniform color consistency, and we have all automated discharge mechanism, and we have uniform gel consistency. Okay. So now coming to the scenario of Indian rice processing industry, we have present status and challenges like this. We have in India more than 1 lakh rice millers. Okay. In that 50% of the rice mills processes parboiled rice. And currently 95 to 98% of the rice mills are operator driven. That's completely manual. And today we are wasting the head rice yield by 1 to 1.5%. That means the process rejection, because of, without control of the process, we are rejecting 1 to 1.5% of the head rice. You can think we are producing 100 million tons of the paddy. In that 1% means how much it is. Okay. So again, the challenge is that the batch to batch, mill to mill, area to area, the quality of the product is very, very inconsistent. And the color of rice varies from batch to batch, as I told you. And for all the varieties today in India, they are following same process protocols, but it should not be the case. That is what the present challenge in the industry. And why parboiling is so important for the future. That's what we all know that, in the world by 2050, the population will going to reach 10 billion people. We have to feed, we have a great responsibility to feed the people. Okay. And 90% of the consumption, in South Asia and East Asia and Middle East Africa, especially I say Africa and Asia, 90% of the consumption will be the parboiled rice. And we have challenges like, in feeding, there is a lot of non-uniform grain consistency and micronutrition deficiency in the rice, and lesser production because of the global warming and climatic changes. So that's the reason why parboiling plays very crucial role in future. And why we want to change the techniques, why we want to go to the artificial intelligence or, new process techniques. The reason is, so we don't quick. We are here from all the states, from Assam, the cooking methodology is different. And from Karnataka, cooking methodology is different. Maharashtra is different. So like that, cooking methodology is changing rapidly, and the consumption preferences. Earlier, everyone used to cook at home. Nowadays, the restaurants, the different, the fast food and, other kind of cooking environments are emerging like anything. So we have a change. We are coming up with this kind of a cooking methodologies. People from the tribal area, from the rural area, they go for atmospheric cooking, and middle class families are going for pressure cooker cooking, and some countries is opting for induction cooking, and many Western countries already they have implemented microwave cooking. For all the things, you cannot give a recipe intelligence like that, and it cannot be manual. So based on these cooking methodologies, you require a recipe intelligence. That is what our artificial intelligence processed power is innovated. So just like actually overall, after doing a lot of research across the globe, we have found three very, very important cooking patterns. The people, they cook plain rice. We call it as an white cooking pattern. And the people, they cook along with the vegetables. We call it as a green cooking pattern. And the people who cook rice and meat together we call it as the red cooking pattern. What does it mean? See, it requires recipe intelligence, because the gelatinization temperature of the rice and gelatinization temperature of the vegetables and the meat and or a egg, it differs. So it should cook, because any consumer wants, while we are consuming, it should be fluffy, it should be tasty, and it should not leach much. So that is the reason we require, for particular pattern, we require recipe intelligence. Already it is in a place. So South Asia and East Asia parboiled rice processing, nowadays they demand complete recipe intelligence. So how it will going to happen? So actually APIT designed its own artificial intelligence process parameters, and how we have evaluated or invented like this. I will tell you today, the entire, since for many years, we are in India or anyway, any part of the world, all the parboiling plants were human driven process. So the guy who is operating the paddy, just he had an intelligence and he used to fix the parameters for the parboiling. And that is called HDP or human driven process. And out of which, again, the second process is the data driven process. And the third one is called finite data driven process. And the final one is called AAP or artificial intelligence process. So how evolution of the artificial intelligence it has happened? Just I want to explain. See, in the human driven process, what you used to basically think that I'm an operator in a rice miller. Okay, whenever the paddy comes to the rice miller, I will see the paddy and just I will take it on my teeth and I will just crush it and I will see what is the moisture. There is no moisture meter and nothing. So based on that, I will try. So what is the pre-steaming temperature I want to give? What is the soaking water temperature I have to fix? How much time I want to soak? All these, it is manual and it is depending upon the guy who is operating the system. That is called human intelligence, and the process is manual, and he has to open the steam valve, he has to open the soaking tank, this thing, then the result will be here, very, very approximate like this. Yes, obviously, from the human intelligence, we derive at some data that is called this data accumulation. So next, from this data, what we have did is that we took that entire data, we did a kind of a we are given a small automation system, we call it as semi-automation. From this semi-automation, we did so many trials, and after that, the quality is much improved, and we arrived at a master data. With that master data, we have refined again the data, we termed it as a finite data. So with this master data as well as the fine data, we made it completely automatic. We never went to the parboiling plant and we never opened any valve. We come to know that if you do this, if you fix this parameter, you will going to get this kind of a result. So by doing all those things, we got the result on target, and that is very, very accurate. So based on this data, what we used to do that now from that finite data, or you can call it as a big data, we have done a lot of simulations, and we applied into the system, and then that's how the artificial intelligence process has evaluated, and it's completely a data driven process. Now example, I will explain you in the further slides how we did it for a case study. See, actually, the grain basically having two parameters, any grain. One is physical properties and the chemical properties. We grouped all the physical properties. In that physical properties, there is a gravimetric properties, there is a geometrical properties. So we defined it, and then come to the chemical properties like, what is the starch chains, what is the GT, and what is the amylopectin and amylose, everything. We collect the data for the particular variety. We have grouped everything into one, then we have feed into the system. based on the, white process cooking and green cooking process and red cooking process, we classified the grains as super white. You can go to the any market, you find only these 6 colors. Super white, this is the super white one, and this is the white, and this is the cream, and this is the pale yellow, and this is the amber yellow, and this is the deep yellow or golden yellow. So many people can come across this. You go to the market, you will find all these 6 colors. So degree of the starch gelatinization was a very, very crucial thing, because it was helped us to fix the nutritional attribute to the rice. So that is how we calculated many varieties. What is the DSGC for this grain? And what is the DSGC for, okay, example, IR64, what is that? Next, Ranjit, next, Sona Masuri, then BPT, then RNR, then IR8, then Basmati, then DP, Pusa Basmati. So we did almost more than, 250 varieties of DSGC. We calculated it, and, we found all the results. We simulated that, and it has given us a fantastic result. So that's why we put it into the record that DSGC plays very crucial role in the nutrition attribute. So that was a very, very critical. Okay. Now, after this the AI, artificial intelligence, we have given complete importance for the instrumentation, as well as after the instrumentation. Because of that, we can monitor, we can regulate, we can control entire thing with an IoT environment. So why this IoT is very important? IoT for any food industry, gives a kind of a monitoring parameters with help of sensors. What basically we do in the parboiling system, we control TPT. TPT means the temperature, pressure, and time. Okay. So in terms of environmental issues, the IoT based food process can provide really a very big advantage. Like the first is you can predict what will be the nutritional attributes per particular grain. And more than that, we really saved 20% of the energy. That is a very, very huge. Earlier in India, per ton, people used to consume 1000 kgs of steam. Today, we require per ton just 650 to 700 kg. That's more than 20%, but in record, I can say minimum 20% of energy we can save with the help of artificial intelligence and this IoT system. And also you can monitor live anywhere in the world. Sitting in Bangalore, I'm controlling the, the plant which is running in Ranchi, and the plant which is running in Siliguri, the plant which is running in Miryalaguda, Hyderabad, the near to Telangana. So we do that. So that is the reason IoT is a very, very important for the future of this industry. And this, by 2025, IoT industry will boom like anything, because it's mandatory, especially post-COVID. This is very, very important. So again, the same thing that, one more advantage of the IoT or an automation is that you will going to get the same quality for the same variety of the paddy throughout the year. 24/7 into 365 days, you can expect same quality. And in our house, my mom or my wife will never be complained that you bought a bad variety of the rice. Never. So this is assured. Okay. So this is one more advantage you will going to get. So, and apart from IoT, APIT has also given a tool called visualization that actually all our visualization is as per industry 4.0 standards. So you can visualize the sensors, you can visualize the data, and and also you can do a graph based analysis, and also everything is cloud based monitoring and controlling. Okay. You can, as I told you, you can control the entire plant with the remote operators. That is one more thing. This is the workflow, how it will going to have visualization. You have a sensors, you have a system, database, message buses, MES, ERP system, and you can use this entire architecture, and you can stream into the, you can create a best IoT environment for this thing. And what we're going to, how we can visualize the industry post-COVID, this thing. So this is a smart food industry. Probably today, India is just 1%, but I will going to say all the panelists here by 2030, definitely 40 to 45% of all food industries will going to adopt IoT. So there is a biggest boom for the information technology people, those who are working on embedded systems, or the guys who are integrating the IoT, the automation or artificial intelligence into the food processing industry. So these are the stack we have in the hardware device and the device, the software for that device, and communication protocols, and the cloud platform, and the cloud applications. In the cloud applications, you can see end user applications part of the system, and these applications will likely to be all web-based, and it will fulfill all your needs. So I don't want to go much about the deep technicalities about what level of IoT, what level of artificial intelligence we use that. Okay, so just I want to provide one case study so you people can understand about how we are doing this artificial intelligence powered process. Okay, just sorry, I will going to have some water. Thank you very much. See, in the entire globally, only these 6 varieties of rice any country or any rice miller or rice processor will process, are basically rice processors will do based on the consumer demands. Basically, rice will going to have 2 big influencing parameters for any buyer. I can ask all the people present here, the panelists and the attendees, that rice is having 2 major influencing characters according to me. The one is the character of the rice, and one is the glamour of the rice. Today, people are purchasing point. At the purchasing point, everyone wants a glamour. The rice should be shiny, rice should be bright, and rice should be, it should like kind of an, complete, it should possess complete glamour. So, but at the same time, when you're consuming, people want the character in that. Okay, the cooking taste, the fluffiness or pastiness or, consistency should be there. And also the nutrition. Okay, nutrition, many of the people, they are forgotten now. But the aim of implementing the artificial intelligence system is that we have to give more nutrition to the grain in parboiling or super aging system. Okay, so that's the reason we provide the glamour as well as we provide the nutrition for this, our process. Suppose, consider that out of these 6 colors, any rice miller wants to process 1 rice. So in billions of people in 6 continents, only these 6 varieties will going to process. Apart from this, nothing. I will take an example of the most famous variety of India, that's IR64. Consider, because now IR64 has become a political commodity rather than the this thing. Because now, all the public distribution system, they are distributing most 80% IR64 variety only. This is what we found very interesting. So we take the crucial parameters of this, designing the process for any variety, say it's an IR64, and we called GMAD properties. We first analyzed GMAD, GMAD, germination temperature of the paddy, and moisture of the paddy at the processing point, and age of the paddy when we are processing, and bulk density or an average density of the paddy. We make it, and also very crucial, what is the sun cracks or internal cracks. We analyze in our laboratory what exactly this, then we design the process. So after designing this, we put into the simulation, suppose the most famous variety, and 60 to 70% of the varieties in India, they are a cream parboiled rice. You can go to any mall, any retail shop, you will find this kind of a grain. If you put all those things into our process design software, it will going to give you the data like this. Mr. Shashi Kumar, you have to do PHS, filling 2 minutes, steaming 6 minutes, discharge 2 minutes, travel time then 4 minutes, paddy filling 16 minutes, dwell time this, water filling, soaking. Then it will define circulation 1, circulation 2, circulation 3, washing. All this data automatically it will throw on your screen. And if you accept this, it will go and it will fix into the system, and PLC will take care of entire process. You don't need any skilled operator for this. This is how we design the process. Okay. So I will just explain. This is the world's first process automation software for parboiling. We call it as a PROS. That is smart, efficient process. Okay. This is indigenously developed by APIT. So actually the first system of the parboiling is pre-hydration system. When you put the paddy, it will pre-steam, and while pre-steaming, you can see the dashboards, the temperature, the pressure, the curves will go into like this, and you can each and every second, if you want, you can acquire the data. The biggest strength of APIT's PROS system or data visualization or data analytics, we work on 3 modes. We want to acquire the data, we want to analyze the data, and then we have to adapt the data if it is good, or also you can reject the data if the quality is not good. So this is how we design entire process system. Okay. Then it comes to the hydration or soaking. We fix the parameters. What should be the hot water temperature? What should be the water temperature? What should be the water pH level? And what should be the, the circulation time, everything. All the data you can visualize on your dashboard. That is the beauty of the system. Okay. That is how it will work, the soaking. So, and after that soaking, usually after soaking, the paddy is gelatinized, and the cooking of the gelatinized paddy, we term it as gel cook. So we process it gel cook, and it runs on P4. That means first in, first treat, and first out system. So this is a very crucial system. It will define the complete, the degree of starch gelatinization that will contribute to the nutrients, while it will press all the nutrients which present in the bran, and it will create the starch. It will use starch as an silo for to pressing its micronutrients. That is the beauty of this gel cook station. Thanks to Dr. KRB and Mr. Syed Zakiuddin Ali for designing such a fantastic system. And it was a laboratory scale. We bought it. We made it to the industrial segment, and it is, 1 year, in 1 year, we sold more than 100 installation. That is never happened in the industry. That's a fantastic revolution in this industry. That is how. And the drying. So drying of paddy after parboiling, usually the grain will acquire almost 36% of the moisture. That including surface moisture. Usually it's not more than 30 to 32%. So we dry it on circulation table. Even in the drying, you need not to go anything. Just you have to program your dryer. So my first cycle, the temperature is this, the air volume is this, pressure is this. You have to fix everything. You have to program and you have to feed it. So automatically, and also it will control the product temperature inside the dryer like anything in a precise manner. That will give you a fantastic output product, and which will never create thermal stress for the grind. That is the beauty of our drying technology. So what is the advantage of all these artificial intelligence? Have you ever checked at your homes by putting 1 glass of rice, and how much rice water it will take? We call it as an water uptake ratio. In APIT system, it is always 13 to 15% more than conventional system. That means where it will go? That means it will give 13 to 50% of extra rice. In simple sense, I will tell you, today in 1 kg of rice, if 6 people are eating, in our system, APIT system, 7 people can eat. That means 15% extra cooked rice is guaranteed. We have done this and we have a laboratory reports. One, that is. Next, how it will happen? We provide excellent parameters, constant parameters, more volume expansion of each and every grain.
Shashi Kumar,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. Another 5 minutes, please.
Yes, sir. Finished. So next, there's an extra elongation. You will find it. And then you will get maximum shelf life. Suppose today night, 8 o'clock you cooked. Tomorrow up to 8 o'clock, it will not give residue for this. This is fantastic, this thing. And as I told you earlier, the 20% of energy savings, it's guaranteed because we are already borrowed 50% of the natural resource from our next generation. Our motive is that we have to give something extra for our next generation. My kids and your kids or your grandkids should not suffer on deficiency of natural resources. That's the major vision of our technology. And we can save 20% of water saving. And I proudly announce in this platform, APIT is working less parboiling, less water parboiling. That is the major research is going on. We're going to establish by end of this year. Okay. So less as consumption, again, it's an energy attribution. And you will get, as I told you, 12 to 15% extra rice yield. So this is the comparison of our table. And APIT, you can all go and you can download our mobile application, and any rice miller can just give it what I am processing, what variety I am processing. They will get instantly the process parameters with their mobile, and that's called e-process. We are the first company in the world to do so, and we have established more application. It's available on the Android as well as in iOS. This is looked like this. And also we have given many facilities like, after process data, yield module, mass balance module, notification, log, everything we have given. So rice miller can use this as their diary. Okay. So they can go for analysis of the graph, yield module, mass balance module, everything is there in that mobile application. So this is about my presentation, and thank you very much. But unfortunately, a lack of time. There is a YouTube video in APIT section. You can go there and you can watch all our YouTube videos, and you can see that how the process happens. Everything. There is a 13-minute video for super aging and 11 minutes video for parboiling. You can understand our technology in a beautiful manner, okay, and more clarity manner. So thank you very much. This is my presentation. Thanks for all the panels. If you want any questions, I can take.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Shashi Kumar. It was an enlightening speech about rice, parboiling, and how IoT is used in such an industry. Because like starting, I told you, my family has a modern rice mill, but that doesn't use IoT. 15 years back, I think, automated, but with the PLCs they used to work. But it's an excellent example for the people who are looking to work. Like I always told, that processing is one of the industry which IoT really can help very much and control. I will take some questions now. I think people have raised 2 questions I see already. Dr. Narendra Shah, please, you can ask your question.
Yeah, Shashi Kumar, you mentioned that the shelf life of cooked rice is some 12 hours. So how do you determine when it is not safe to eat a cooked rice? You said 12 hours. What is the parameter that determines the shelf life of cooked rice?
See, after cooking, okay, see, many of the rural areas, they want morning, they go for farming. So they will cook morning 8 o'clock, okay, and they will come back in the evening. In some tribal areas, they want to eat the same rice. That means that residue, the water residue should not be lie below the, on the, vessel. So we measure that grain should not, discharge or leach the water. So that's how we measure the shelf life of the cooked
rice. Thank you. I will take another question from Dr. Sangeeta.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Shashi Kumar, can you please close your screen share?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I will stop my share.
Okay.
Nice presentation. It was really good. So my question is regarding the electronics, the IoT, all the electronics that you're using. whether it's indigenously purchased or made in Bangalore, all the suppliers are local, or do you get components from outside or something like that? Because I'm also working with electronics, so I'm interested in that.
100% Atmanirbhar, madam.
So, as a follow-up,
Yeah.
I would just something. As a follow-up, I would also like to get connected to some suppliers because I also want to. I have electronics in my system.
Setu, can you please turn off the voice of all the people except in the question, please?
Is it possible to get a list of suppliers who can make the electronics for me also? I'm just asking.
You see, I think there is Sangeeta. I think the question is all the electronic components are imported. None of them manufactured. Most of the components are imported.
I understand.
But there are people available who can design. Electronic people. I told you the problem with electronic people. Like if agricultural people or who are working in the project they must understand a little bit about electronics. Then only they can convey properly. Otherwise, there are a lot of people available. I'm sure you can get plenty of people are in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, in Mumbai.
I'm searching. Okay.
Next question, Robesh. Robesh, you have a question, please.
Yeah, Dr. Shashi Kumar, this is, technology is associated with, the cost to the consumer. It's a myth there. In your case, what is the final, especially the marginal consumer, did it give some advantage or was it a disadvantage there,
Yeah, for the consumer, definitely it's an advantage because I will tell you today, the people are selling in a bags, the 1 kg rice, 5 kg bag, 10 kg bag, or 25 kg bag, right? Okay. So the day I will going to see that they will going to tell the rice bag will going to have a tag, this rice will going to give you this much of cooked rice. Did you got my point, sir? So today, if I'll put 1 kg, I will going to get 2.3 kg of rice. The same if you adopt automation, not APAT, forget about APAT. If the people will going to adopt automation or process intelligence, they will going to get 15% more rice because in automation, all the processing parameters are fixed. There is no room for variation. Ultimately, yes, I will tell you, because of this, you will get extra cooked rice and you will going to save energy. I will tell you, to cook 1 kg of rice, how much LPG you required? In the same manner, today you are cooking 1 kg of rice, you people, 6 people are eating. With the same LPG, you are eating 7 people, that you are feeding 7 people. That's I cannot give a comparison. That's a mind blowing. You people can calculate.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We have a question from Mr. Anil Rai. He has already asked in the question and answer session, why are you first in the world? But anyway, let Anil Rai ask himself, please. Anil Rai, can you speak? You have to enable your mic yourself.
Yes. I am able. Hello.
Yes, sir, please. Ask your question.
Sir, why are you in first in the world?
Yeah, I told I am the best in the world.
Best in the world.
Okay,
Yes.
that cannot be argued. That argument cannot be taken here.
Sir?
Sorry?
Best and first. Is there any difference?
Yeah.
That is a bit. I think it's out of the scope. I think for a joke. Let's have one more question. Is there? Some interesting. I will take some interesting questions. Useful. Somebody is. I think Rahul Islam Barbuya. He has text. You spoke about controlled degree of gelatinization. Can you please specify how exactly the process works?
Degree of starch control.
What are the
DSGC?
yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
So can I see the question here? So yeah, sir,
you can see yourself.
Yeah, sir, you spoke about the controlled degree of gelatinization. Can you please specify how exactly the process works?
Yeah.
What are the steps involved in the control of degree gelatinization?
Please.
Yes, sir. Rahul Islam Barbuya. So we have a APAT parboiling system video in YouTube, and there is no one in the world explained what is degree of starch gelatinization. We have given a complete explanation in that. Can you go through? Because it takes a lot of time to explain. It will give
Thank you.
I think if you don't find it, you can call me. I can have a discussion with you personally.
They will. Yes. All of you can. Dr. Ganjan Singh, you have any question?
Yes, how open his system is to other people to visit, and also does he provide training for people, students especially, how the IoT and artificial intelligence is being used for agriculture engineers in the final year and some graduate students? Is it available?
Yeah. So we are very much open, because we have done is because of the students, and we are really happy to share this technology to the students, because they can give some new deviations, because we are just started, and we have installed more than 28 plants across the country. And also we have established in Bangladesh, we have established in Nigeria, we have established in Central America. And anybody, anytime, they can come and we can show them our real-time processing system, and we can help, we can get the permission, let them go and see. Wherever, you name any state, except few states we have not done. So other than that, we have all the states 2 to 3 plants.
Any information how many other industry people have come to you to use your system, adopt your system?
Industry people means rice millers or other companies?
Yeah, rice millers.
Right.
Oh, rice millers, we are getting, now we are fastest growing company, if you say in the
No,
India.
your company,
Yeah.
other rice millers who are not using this system before,
Yes.
have many come to you and pick up your system and adopt it?
Yeah, see, whatever the new systems are coming, new rice millers are, because every year 20 to 30 projects will come. Out of that, definitely the people are opting for the new system. And we are thinking also, we are already done some retrofitting. The existing system, we are giving all the new, our automation system. We can fit new automation system for the existing only. That will be going to change the entire industry dynamics. That is where we are very busy with.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. One last question from Dr. Indramani. That's what we have. Another speaker is there. So
Yeah.
we'll take the question afterwards.
Shashi, it was wonderful talk. That is Shashi Kumar.
Yes, sir.
It was wonderful talk. I wanted to know that what was the, with which model you got this technology from CFTRI? Are they still working? And was it exclusive, exclusively given to you, or he has given to other industries? So I wanted to know industry institution interaction, yours with CFTRI.
No, actually I will tell you, the CFTRI never given me a technology. Everything was in a paper. It was done on laboratory model. I selected, after a lot of research, I selected few models, and we have developed in our this thing. It was open. It's in public domain. It was in public domain. After industrialized, we did a patent. It was open for, because it has developed almost in 1970s, but nobody has touched that. But it wasn't just mechanical infrastructure. They have proposed it, theoretical, this thing on the basis of grind science. But we have given information technology. Yes, for this. We have given information technology touch for this.
Okay. Okay.
Are you still in touch with CFTRI or not?
Yeah. No, 100%. We work with CFTRI. And one more thing I will tell you, we are establishing a global center for rice excellency. We are investing almost 4 crore rupees to establish a rice milling school.
Lecture चल रहा है, फालतू के वो मत करो है.
Hey, please.
कर लेता हूँ.
Please, Mike. Can you close all the mics?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I have to stop here. Sorry, we'll take the questions afterwards. We have another speaker now, because already we are late. It's another excellent topic. Afterwards, I'll take the questions for both. Okay. I think we have to talk about, we had energy sessions, 4 sessions actually. To conclude, we have another speaker, Dr. Brahmanand Mohanty, who will talk on integrated approach to energy sustainability. I would like to request Dr. Indramani to introduce Dr. Mohanty.
Welcome, Dr.